Welcome to episode 12 of the New Breed Podcast. Coming to you live and pre-recorded from Mom's basement. I am one of your co-hosts. I am an old school of a dog Browns fan. I am Mike Mitchell, and this is my co-host.
I am Grady Mitchell, the son of this mental man. I am a new breed of Browns fan. You know, I love the Browns since I was born. You know,
I have
raised
proof.
into it,
I have proof that you were raised into Browns fandom.
and I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it.
That's a good sign that you're proud of it.
Yeah, I'm even proud of the 2017 season.
Hey, it happened.
Hey, you can't erase it.
It was there.
You can't erase it.
Can't erase it now. But we can get better. We've proven that. We proved that last year. We can get better.
We proved that this year. We're already proving that this year.
And yeah, I guess you're right. We are kind of proving it this year. We're going to talk about that a lot on this podcast. We're going to start off with our recent headlines. We have not recorded for more than a week, and so we're a little bit behind on our headlines. Don't be mad if you've heard this before. Just roll with this. It'll be okay. I promise. Starting off, we want to go back and realize that Browns tight end David Njoku's $6.013 million fifth-year option tender for 2021 is now guaranteed. Article in the show notes is from Mary Kay Cabot, Cleveland.com. What does this mean for the Browns, and what does it mean for David? I know I've added him into Tweets of the Week later because I feel like he was getting some heat over his guaranteed $6 million and his lack of production. But I believe he sounded off earlier today, and we're going to take a look at that. What do you think?
I mean, I'm glad that he's coming back. You know, he was really big last year. About second half of the season, like everybody was like, "Oh, David Njoku's tight end number 3 at the beginning of the season." He almost pushed all the way to that number 1 spot, and I think that's great from him.
I think it is. I think his blocking got better last year, and as soon as Harrison Bryant started having the drops and the fumbles, he stepped in and did a great job down the stretch.
And as soon as Austin Hooper went out with whatever he had, injuries, COVID, you know, he stepped in pretty nicely there.
I like it.
So I like him a lot, and I like this 5th-year option.
I do too.
$6 million's fine with me.
All right, cool. What else you got?
The NFL draft of 2021 will look a little different because of the corona, but it can jumpstart Cleveland at crucial time. Host David Gilbert says, Mary Kay Cabot at Cleveland.com. Cleveland's turn at hosting the NFL Draft April 29th through May 1st won't be what David Gilbert, president and CEO of Greater Cleveland Sports Commission, originally envisioned, but he's confident it will jumpstart a struggling downtown in the wake of the pandemic. In many ways, I really believe that the relative impact of the draft that we're going to have may be even larger than it might have been with an event that was much larger in terms of numbers of people because of where we are in this pandemic, Gilbert told Cleveland.com. We're still planning for large groups of people to be traveling to Cleveland, all being done in a very healthy, safe space atmosphere, especially now with more people getting vaccinated.
It was a really good article, and it was really well done. Mary Kay did a good job putting that together because talked about a lot about the financial impact that this can have on the Cleveland area. I know we had talked about traveling to the draft, live streaming from the draft, all those things. Unfortunately, the draft falls on a bad weekend for us. His local soccer club is hosting their tournament that weekend. As a parent of said child in this club, we have responsibilities as far as working the tournament. So If we could, it would be to go up Thursday night, and that would be it, because we'd have to be back Friday to start work at the tournament. So it's going to be a rough weekend for us.
And I have to go to school.
Technically,
Maybe.
yes, you have to go to school. I could get you out of school for that, but anyway.
Day off of school. Just
We're
because-
still probably going to live stream it. It
Going to
just might be
Cleveland.
from Mom's basement.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Mom's basement strikes again.
So look for that. Hope you guys that are planning on going to the draft and being there in person, please be safe. Please use Ubers and cabs if you can, and be safe up there. Have a good time and enjoy it. Enjoy picking at 26 for a change, Browns fans. That's what I got to say for you. Next up, corner J.C. Horn at South Carolina. Wow's at his South Carolina Pro Day, and he's met with the Browns. Jeff Risdon, BrownsWire.USAtoday.com, said that Horn, the son of former NFL wide receiver Joe Horn, put on a show at the Gamecocks Pro Day. The Browns, like all 32 teams, were in attendance in some capacity, but the Browns already know Cleveland already knows Horn and his prodigious talents as well. Horn admitted he's already met with the Browns at least twice since the draft season started. The Browns have also been meeting with some other gentlemen as well. I heard today, and this one kind of makes me, I don't want to say cringe. It makes me want to listen close, turn my ear towards it, But Kwity Paye from Michigan has stated that he has had more than one meeting with the Browns. Now, in reality, I believe that if the Browns are serious about Kwity Paye, they're going to have to trade up in order to get up to take Kwity Paye.
Like to 14.
At least, if not 4. Because there could be somebody early that wants him really in a bad way.
Yeah, it's just all about looking at all the other teams and what they are looking for.
And so I one of the things that I saw and kind of commented on in a tweet, because everyone was oohing and eyeing over J.C. Horn's 41.5-inch vertical. Like, oh, look at this 41.5-inch vertical by corner J.C. Horn. You guys remember that there was a Donovan Peoples-Jones that jumped 44.5 last year? Yeah, a whole 3 inches farther than J.C. Horn, which means he could catch a football over J.C. Horn. Let that sink in.
It'll happen in training camp.
If they get J.C. Horn,
It'll happen.
Post him up.
And even if we don't get him, he'll still do it.
Obviously, we're really looking forward to the draft, and who knows what could happen, right? I personally, I look for us to trade back out of the first round. I don't look for us to trade up. I don't see the analytic minds of Barry, Podesta, and guys like that trading up to get a player. However, I will say this. They did not push as hard for a big name free agent defensive end or edge yet. They got Tack McKinley. It's on basically a kind of a prove it deal. It's only $8 million tops. They have talked with Jadeveon Clowney, which we're going to talk about here in a minute, but they haven't signed that big name. Could that mean that they're now going to leverage the draft picks that they have and jump up and take Kwity Paye, who is basically, he even said in an article today that I read that he watches and studies Myles Garrett because they are physically and athletically so similar.
He's not wrong.
Would that be scary? I'm telling you, that would be scary. I would not want to be an offensive lineman facing the Browns next year if that's the case.
Ooh.
Can you imagine? Okay, now wait a minute. Okay, I know I said reel me in, but I just got this vision of Kwity Paye, Sheldon Richardson, Malik Jackson, and Myles Garrett. It's 3rd and 12. You're on your own 5-yard line. You know you got to pass. If I am a quarterback, I am crapping my pants. What? How can you? I don't even know what to do at that point.
Your pants are going to be full at that point.
They don't have you can't
just
double
pure
every
terror.
one of those guys.
Just pure terror.
Which one do you double? Do you double Myles? then those other 3 are going to eat your lunch because they're going to have to go one-on-one with somebody, and each one of them can win a one-on-one.
You double yes. You take your tight end and running back and fullback, and you take every single player.
Okay, but then you got two people running a route.
And
maybe 1. And he's going to be guarded by 5 guys.
yeah,
Anyway,
we're gonna be running
Anyway,
behind.
I went rogue. I told you not to let me do that because this is going to be a long podcast, but reel me back in. Get to the next article.
The Browns' early report card for most impactful offseason decisions. Alex Ballantyne at BleacherReport.com. Signing John Johnson III. Grade A. I
Give it a
like
grade
that. Signing Troy Hill an A-. Oh, okay, I still see that.
Yep.
And going the cheap route at defensive end for Tack McKinley at a grade C+.
Which I can see that based on his production over most of last season, which waned at the end, a lot more at the end. He only had really 1 good game early on. So I can see that. But he was also unhappy in Atlanta, didn't really want to be there. So I can see that.
But he wants to be in Cleveland.
It's true. And he's right. He wants to show up. He's ready to like make a name.
Yeah, but Isaiah Wilson isn't.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story, man.
That
Let's file that under things like trading Baker for Deshaun Watson in the
yeah.
I'm glad we didn't go there categories.
Yeah. Because Isaiah Wilson got signed by the Dolphins, was looking for a new future, and then didn't go to practice meetings and got
Missed the doctor's appointment. And, yeah.
poor guy.
He's got some other things going on, so I certainly hope that Isaiah finds what he needs to find. Maybe playing football isn't what he is ever dreamed of and doesn't want to. Which, hey, Ricky Williams, he didn't want to play football. He did to make some money, but it happens. Next article comes from Dan Labey at Cleveland.com. What we've learned about the Browns and Andrew Berry's approach to roster building in free agency. I really liked this article, and again, it's in the show notes, but he breaks this down into things that we've seen this front office do and where it's gone. So his first notice is timing matters. Significant free agent signings under Berry have generally fit a particular mold. Tight end Austin Hooper and right tackle Jack Conklin last year and John Johnson III this year were each successful players moving in line for their second contracts. So they're fresh out that rookie deal. They're ready to be a free agent and to make some money, and he's snatched him up. Look for that, hopefully again next year. When you look at free agents, start looking at who's coming off their rookie deal. Another one is stack them up. Berry didn't hesitate to stack positions in free agency and the draft. He signed Hooper, but drafted Harrison Bryant a few days before picking up David Njoku's 5th-year option. He added 2 safeties on 1-year deals in Andrew Sendejo and Carl Joseph, even before drafting Grant Delpit. So I guess what he's saying is just because he's signing edge, he's signing Tack McKinley, he's signing Malik Jackson, he's signing. That doesn't mean he was not going to draft one. Especially safety and corner. I can totally see that, especially maybe Troy a linebacker. Hill. I could see that.
Signing Troy Hill.
Right. Versatility matters to this front office. Just like with Kevin Johnson a year ago, the Browns signed a player who can do both. Ideally, the other outside corner opposite Denzel Ward takes care of itself, with either Grady Williams turning into the player envisioned when John Dorsey took him in the 2nd round or in the draft. If the right player lands at 26, maybe. But if the Browns find themselves in trouble, at least they have a player in Troy Hill who can slide outside if injury or poor performance dictates. Troy Hill, when we signed him, he had a better grade in the slot nickel than he did outside, but he has played outside. And when I noticed his basically skill set, I was like, that makes absolute sense because they want a guy that can play anywhere. Another one is follow the breadcrumbs. Barry does not tell us much, but actions speak louder than words. Last year, Barry left 2 obvious holes going into the draft: left tackle and safety. He addressed both with his first 2 picks. So what are our glaring holes this year? Corner would be one, because you've only got Troy Hill, Grady, if he's healthy, and Denzel that you're actually aware of in that starting group, right?
Edge.
And if you want to play with 3 or 4, we don't have a lot of depth at edge, so I think edge puts us out there for that.
Yeah.
Maybe safety.
Safety somewhat.
You
know.
Because you don't
Ronnie.
know. You got Ronnie. You got Grant if he's healthy.
And
if not,
John.
You've got John Johnson and Ronnie Harrison. That's it.
You got John Johnson, Ronnie Harrison, and Sheldrick Redwine. And
Sheldrick's still there too.
That is it.
I'm kind of talking starters, not necessarily backups, but yeah.
Yeah, but Sheldrick played starter for us.
Yeah, because he had to, because Andrew Sendejo was awful.
Yeah, but
and we lost guys repeatedly.
Wasn't he a big role in that Steelers win where Miles
He had a pick.
Garrett
He had a
did
pick
where?
in the playoff game.
Yeah, but I'm talking. I'm envisioning the Miles Garrett.
2019.
Yeah, that game.
I don't even remember that game.
But
I've blocked it from my memory.
I think I remember somebody hitting one of their wide receivers so hard, and then my friend KJ, he came up to me at school the next day and he was like, "Nah, your players were cheap shotting on my guys." Watch the tape, KJ.
Watch the tape, kid. Moving on. What do you got?
Free agency pass rusher Jadeveon Clowney visits Browns. Nick Shook at NFL.com. Clowney visited the Browns on Wednesday. Cleveland pursued Clowney's services last offseason when the Browns had cap space to spend and a reason to add edge rushing talent. The Browns offered Clowney a 3-year, $57 million deal. Rappaport reported. That's weird to say.
Ian Rappaport.
Rappaport. That makes it better. Rappaport doesn't. No, that's not good.
Rap sheet. Just say
rap sheet. All right. Their attempt to bring him to Cleveland fell short, though, as Clowney turned down the offer, and former number 1 overall pick ended up signing with the Tennessee Titans, where he failed to record a sack in a disappointing campaign that ended early due to injury. I mean, it's either draft Quiddy Pay or get Jadeveon Clowney. So you're getting a good one out of either.
I don't. Okay, let's go back to that. I don't think they're drafting Quiddy Pay. If they want Quiddy Pay, they'll have to mortgage their draft and go up just to take a single edge rusher. I think they would rather build draft capital, because there is depth at corner and receiver in this draft, and they could move back. However, I don't see them giving away picks and money just to go up and take Quiddy Pay. Unless Quiddy Pay happens to make people mad and fall all the way to 26, in which case they'll run up to the stage with their card. But I don't really want Jadeveon part-time Clowney. I really don't. He hasn't been good for like 3 or 4 years.
He was good when he came into the league.
He was good when he first came in. A lot of hype. I'm not quite sure that he ever lived up to as much hype as he got, but I think that he's talented and he's big, he's fast, he's all those things. But there's just something about him and the lack of what appears to be desire on the football field that I just don't think we need in our locker room. I think it was a sit down face to face. Let's see where he stands. We didn't get the chance to do that last year. We put a big dollar value out there for him last year, and he never came up with a single sack, and his season ended early due to injury. I don't want that guy on my squad. I just don't. I don't see a place for him. I don't think a need for him. And I know Colin Cowherd came out today and said, well, if Clowney signs with the Browns, then they're a top 3 team. I don't think so. I don't think Clowney makes a difference. I think Tack McKinley would beat him out at edge, and he wouldn't see as many snaps, and he'd leave, or shut down and quit, which
Waste of money.
he's done that before. So
Makes it a waste of money.
kind of is.
Ooh.
And speaking of our final article here within recent headlines, I'm still, and I said this earlier, I don't hate it. I just don't understand it.
I'll let you have your rant. I'll
So
be over here to the
you
side.
let me have the rant. The article, 2 offensive free agents still available that the Browns should target, by Rocco Nuochi at brownsnation.com. Articles, the link is in the show notes. His number 1 player that is still available in offense that the Browns should target, Alejandro Villanueva, offensive tackle. My comments exactly were, what? Why on earth would Executive of the Year, AB, take another offensive tackle or any more offensive linemen for that reason? So part of our free agent signings, one inclusion was Greg Senat, or Senate, however you say his last name, which he was on our practice squad and stuff before. We signed him. We just signed him away from the Cowboys. We have Alex Taylor. We have still have Chris Hubbard. We still have Jack Conklin. We still have Jedrick Wills. That's 5. 5 offensive tackles to play 2 positions.
And you want us to sign Alejandro Villanueva.
And 2 of those guys were solid starters, one of which put up some pretty good numbers at right tackle. I'm not saying he's, Pro Bowl worthy just at that point, but it was pretty good numbers for a right tackle. So you're telling me that you want to sacrifice one of those big names to get Alejandro Villanueva? Because you're going to have to cut one of them. The one that you're probably going to cut would be Jack Conklin, because he's the only one making any money. The rest of them are making either league minimum or their rookie deals.
Mm-hmm.
I do not see Anthony Berry in this front office doing that or making that decision. The second player is almost as bad. The second player, he says, is Darren Fells, tight end.
I just now realized you said is almost as bad.
Again, what? Our tight end room is packed full of people already wanting the ball, and you want to add another tight end? And if they were going to add one, if this was part of that process, if this was part of the list, we need another tight end. Hey, we need another tight end. Then they probably would have gone after Kyle Rudolph, who came from the Stefanski system and knows Kevin Stefanski and would have fit in perfectly.
Yep.
But again, who you giving up? Who are you going to give up?
Can't give up Harrison.
You're not going to give up Harrison. He's on a rookie deal. You're not going to give up. You're not going to give up Carlson, because he's a great blocker, special teamer, and he's cheap.
You're not going to give up Njoku.
So you're going to have to.
You just signed him.
Yeah, you just gave Njoku a guaranteed $6 million in his 5th-year option.
So now you got.
So now you're basically getting rid of Austin Hooper for Darren Fells, and that is not comparable.
That is terrible. That's like when you cheat off of somebody's paper, but you literally make it so obvious to the point where even you realize it.
I said this earlier. I'm not a writer. I'm not an analyst. I don't get paid to sit around and study the Browns and study the moves and study the NFL. And even I know that both of these are awful. They are awful. Like worse than Colin Cowherd takes awful. It's true. It's horrid. I can't believe someone put this on a piece of paper or typed it on a computer and said, "Yep, that's what I'm going with. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it." That's like saying the Indians are going to win the World Series this year. Yep, Indians are going to win the World Series this year. You watch. Write it down. As much as I would love it, they ain't going to win the World Series this year. They're going to have trouble even competing in the Central. So, anyway. That's all we really have. Check out the links to all of those articles are in the show notes, so check those out. You're welcome to see those for what they are. Read them yourself, glean through them yourself. I could have been hard on Rocco, but I like his stuff. That one kind of caught me wrong, but yeah, take a look at those articles, and that has been your recent headlines.
Yes. So can I introduce myself?
Absolutely, go for it.
So here on the
This is your baby.
Here on the New Breed podcast, this is my segment now. This is my all rookie team of the year. This past year, 2020. As much as it was terrible, the rookies weren't. And here are the players who really, in my opinion, weren't that bad. So at quarterback, I have two players for each position and some honorable mentions. Quarterback Justin Herbert, and behind him is Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow would have won offensive rookie of the year if he didn't get hurt. Sucks that he got hurt. He's a really good player, good guy, everything. Running backs are Jonathan Taylor and James Robinson. No, you could put maybe Clyde Edwards-Helaire out there, maybe. Anybody else really? The one guy.
Cam Akers.
Yeah, Cam Akers.
I heard somebody say something about Cam Akers.
Yeah, all those guys are good, but those are my top two. Wide receiver, obviously Justin Jefferson, and for my other one, I was between CeeDee Lamb and Chase Claypool. Chase Claypool put up the stats and took over, and Pittsburgh really carried them to their 11-0, really. But CeeDee Lamb, he has a spot in my heart. I loved him ever since the draft. It's just great, man. Yeah, and he made some really good plays. What you fist pumping? Anyway, my tight ends, my boy Harrison Bryant of the Cleveland Browns. Duh.
Had a better first half than the last half.
Yeah, the last half wasn't as good. But you know what? He still did better than my second one, Cole Kmet, which he really didn't show up, although wasn't he drafted before him?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tight ends drafted.
Harrison Bryant just went over everybody's head, and Harrison Bryant ended up being the better one. Now onto my offensive line. My left tackle is Jedrick Wills of the Cleveland Browns. Yeah, that's enough explained. Yeah, you don't need to know more. Left guard Kevin Dotson. He's just up there with the guards. I really didn't have anybody else, but once I started looking at them, like, oh yeah, I noticed those names that and like those guys started, so pretty good. And Tyler Biadasz.
Sure.
The center for the Cowboys. I assume he stepped in for their whole dumpster fire. Yeah, but he probably wasn't their worst offensive lineman out there on the field at all times. That's a good thing. My right guard is Michael Onwenu of the Patriots. Michigan guy. Did really good. He was drafted in like the 4th. He was drafted really late. Tom Brady.
Out of all the linemen that you mentioned here, he's probably the highest graded lineman of the group.
Yeah, I think he is. A guy who's close to him is my right tackle, Tristan Wirfs. Yeah, he was
solid offensive line.
He was the highest graded right tackle.
I could totally
in the rookies. But he was the highest graded. He was almost the highest graded right tackle behind our boy Jack Conklin.
I think he was higher than Jack Conklin.
No,
Brady.
he wasn't. He was second in PFF grade.
Just
gotcha. Letting you know, okay? So.
But I'm sitting here looking at this offensive line of all rookies, and holy cow, you could beat the crap out of people with that group.
This whole team, you could beat people with.
Well, that's true too. Go to your defense.
My defense now. My interior defensive linemen are Derek Brown and Raekwon Davis. Those are names that have been tossed around, and they really showed up this year. Edge, of course, Chase Young. Have to have him there. Alex Highsmith stepped in for injuries in Pittsburgh. Linebackers, Michael Walker. Now, you may be surprised by this, Atlanta Falcon. He was actually a higher PFF graded than any other linebacker any other rookie linebacker in the league. And my next guy, Patrick Queen, was actually one of the lowest graded PFF players, PFF linebackers from this past year. So, but he showed up. He got the starting linebacker spot in Baltimore, and they'll pay him his money, and then he'll go nowhere, and then they'll just have no money left, and then.
Well, at least he's not playing wide receiver.
Yeah.
In Baltimore. Anyway,
my corners are L'Jarius Sneed and Cameron Dantzler. Obviously, once again, heard names. Good guys, good football players. There's no real explanation for any of these other than the fact that they're good. They're just all really good players. And my safeties, Jeremy Chin and Antoine Winfield. Obviously, Jeremy Chin showing up great for the Panthers. I mean, although their offense couldn't get it done, he really did. And along with Derek Brown, those are two good guys on that Panthers squad that'll be high-graded players for the next 4 years. And Antoine Winfield, doing the little peace sign on top of Tyreek Hill in the Super Bowl. You just gotta have balls to do that as a rookie. Really, you just gotta. I don't know how he didn't pass out in the middle of the field doing that. I didn't know how he go. But my kick returner, our boy Donovan Peoples-Jones, and the kicker. Do I have to say it multiple than one time? Rodrigo Blankenship, the Spectacles Lego building man. That dude is crazy. I saw him build his own lightsaber on TikTok. That dude is mental. He's a dude, man.
Solid kicker too, though.
And yeah, he's a great kicker. I don't know what you mean. Dude, I could go on for hours about Rodrigo. That's my boy.
Not Cody Parkey?
Well, Cody Parkey, he made all of his field goals this year, but Rodrigo is a different breed. I mean, I'm the new breed, but
he made all of his field goals. But
Rodrigo, yeah, he did.
Really? So he just missed his extra points.
Bears fans.
Anyway,
Bears fans.
I think that's a good list. I'm excited that you put that together, and
yes,
I've
been working on it since Sunday.
Yeah,
Sunday.
You've put some time into it. You've got some names out there.
Maybe, Sunday into Monday. Then I kind of gave up on it until yesterday and today. But it is what it is. I've been thinking about it though, so we've been planning to do this since episode 8.
Yeah,
but I think it's really cool. But yeah, that's my team. So tell me how it is in the comments. You can judge me.
Wow, you are opening it up for judgment.
Yeah, because I don't care. You can judge me all you want. I won't care.
Maybe you need to be a sports writer.
Yeah, exactly. No emotion.
Hot takes. No one cares. All right. Sounds good. Good job.
Just like you and the whole Alejandro.
Right, exactly. You can write all the Alejandro Villanueva articles you want.
I don't care.
So moving on, after your
whole
new breed all rookie team, we're going to head out to, obviously we have to talk about it, our free agency fire. Who we've signed, who we've re-signed, and players that we've lost, players that are still out there, what's going to happen, who knows. But I say that part of our free agency fire, I say we start with who's the new additions. If it isn't Love,
yeah,
let's go there. Starting it off, obviously got an grade A from many people. John Johnson, the third at safety. What do you think?
Yes, I love this pickup. You know, he did great last year. He really showed up. I mean, he's done great in all of his years in the league. He had a great game against the Browns. I've seen some highlights from that game. That just the highlight reel that everybody's showing of this guy. I love it, and especially if you're going to be playing three safeties, put that green dot on his helmet, and you are ready to go.
Yeah, I think people are missing that. He actually wore the green dot in St. Louis, in Los Angeles for the Rams last year. He called the defense, and I would not be shocked if Joe Woods puts that sticker on the back of his helmet and has him call it again. He could probably be on the field every play. Probably would not come off, and he's going to be that general that calls things from the back. Troy Hill, corner, Rams. Again, I think similar, better grade than probably most of our corners, if not all. And versatile, can play outside, can play inside. We needed it. We needed a guy that can do more.
We needed a corner bad, especially if, like, say Grady is like, hey, Grady's back, and then like he plays in training camp, he's all okay. But then, like, that third game, he makes some weird tackle and messes with it again, and it's all jacked up after that.
And then you slide Troy Hill
Then
out.
Troy Hill is your number one guy.
Unless you draft one.
Unless, I mean, you might draft one, but, you know, nothing wrong with depth.
True.
3-year deal. Like it.
Malik Jackson, defensive lineman from the Eagles.
Like it. Defensive tackle. Of course, we got rid of, I'll say it later. I don't want to say it twice. We got rid of our boy.
Yep.
I don't want to say.
I will say that Malik Jackson is a better grade than Larry, unfortunately.
Yeah. As much as we love Larry,
he's got a better grade than Larry.
But yeah, I like this. I don't know. Smart from AB, our boy.
Anthony Walker, linebacker from the Colts.
Yeah, you know, depth, I guess, and he's pretty good. He's a good leader, hype man. You love to see that on a field, especially at a linebacker.
I could see him bringing the best out of our young linebackers. And we'll get there in a minute, but we re-signed Malcolm Smith as well, and I think that's part of that equation. Malcolm Smith and Anthony Walker are going to be leaders in that linebacker room, and those young guys are going to either have to step up or get out of the way.
Dang.
And
if you put it to him, man.
I hate to say it, but there's a lot of special teams play coming up for those guys that can't do it. Tack McKinley, edge.
It makes sense. We need depth bad. I know we're not going to re-sign Olivier Vernon. I know it with my heart and soul. But yeah, Tack McKinley, obviously cheap, easy. Didn't want to be in Atlanta. You know, he just it just made sense for him to come to Cleveland, to be honest with me.
Oh yeah, he needed to get out of Atlanta. He needed a better situation, and he needed somebody to put a prove it deal out there. And I think what struck me was when he talked to the media, Tack McKinley was talking about being wanted by the Browns. He said they made claims on me on waivers. They tried to trade for me with Atlanta. They wanted me. And the fact that it never happened was kind of heartbreaking. And now in this free agent cycle, I'm surprised he didn't come for less money. But I think that what they offered him is what they offered him. And he's like, yep, let's go. I'm interested to see what he comes in at as far as weight. Is he going to be closer to 270 or is he going to be down to the 240, 230, which is what some people had him listed at? He's going to have to be a little heavier. He's going to have to play that heavy edge opposite Miles. Miles is 270, so he's got to be in that range somewhere. But should be interesting.
Got to be strong enough to play across.
Those new additions make our team better.
Definitely. And they're all defense.
And then you've got some interesting re-signs.
Yes,
one of which is Rashard Higgins. Clapping for Rashard Higgins.
Hollywood.
The only question mark I have, and don't get me wrong, I'm a Hollywood guy, but what are you gonna do in your receiver room? Are you basically gonna try to run it back with OBJ coming back, and that's your receivers? You're gonna draft one. You've got Cotterell Hodge who's got a tender, and you also re-signed JoJo Natson, who really never got a chance. So I get that one. I understand that one
They played special teams.
for a minute until he got hurt. That's what I'm saying. JoJo Natson didn't even play hardly at all.
And he didn't even play on the field, but he's that burner guy.
Yeah, supposedly. So we'll see how he does coming back from injury.
Him.
Again, I already said they re-signed Malcolm Smith. Re-signed Cody Parkey. Obviously, you need a kicker. May not mean that we don't draft one.
Yeah.
We have been linked to Evan McPherson of Florida in the draft. And then also re-signed Elijah Lee at linebacker.
Depth and special teams.
I found that one interesting. Depth in his. He's obviously a special teams guy. He always has been, but
no offense, but
there's depth out there.
I don't think he's getting a starting job, but
I don't think so either.
I mean, if COVID hits hard, then Mac Wilson and him are about the only guys that'll be out there. I don't think he'll get caught with it.
No, probably not. Players we lost. Larry Ogunjobi went to Cincinnati. Terrence Mitchell, corner Money Mitch, went to Houston. Cornerback Kevin / corner Johnson went to Tennessee. Defensive tackle Vincent Taylor went to Houston. Offensive tackle Kendall Lamb, and the best pass catching big man of the year last year, went to Tennessee. Also not shown, Tavier Thomas signed with Houston. Tay Davis signed with Houston.
Houston and Tennessee show here tonight.
Yeah,
except for Larry,
where a lot of those guys went.
I get to see Larry twice a year.
Yeah, we still get to see Larry twice a year. I like it. Players that are still out there: defensive end Olivier Vernon, linebacker BJ Goodson, safety Carl Joseph, which, man, I really wish we would bring him back. And safety Andrew Sendejo, no thank you. Wide receiver Taywan Taylor, no thank you. Wide receiver Marvin Hall, no thank you. I think we're full at receiver, especially if we draft one.
Only person there that you sign back is Carl Joseph.
I would sign out of that list. I would sign back Carl Joseph if the deal was right. Everybody else, I don't have room for. Sorry.
If you had to sign another one, BJ.
Sorry.
If you had to, what would your pick be? Mine's BJ.
No, because we're already full of linebacker.
Well, then
we're probably not even going to draft one now that we got Anthony Walker and picked up and re-signed Elijah Lee, because you still got Taki, you still got Malcolm Smith, you still got Mac Wilson, and Jacob Phillips. That's a full linebacker room.
6. That's math.
That's a full linebacker room, especially when you're only going to have 2, possibly one of those on the field at a time. So I said a lot of those guys are going to play special teams. They better get used to it.
Better not cry about it.
That's all I got for that. Moving on to tweets of the week.
I'll start it off.
Would you like to start off our favorite segment, yours and mine, tweets of the week?
My boy Bakes at Baker Mayfield, the Bakes, whatever you want to call it. Bake, shake and bake, Parker, anything you want to call him.
Parker.
At Baker Mayfield, he tweeted out, at call me Wood. What are we doing, Hig? And Wood comes back with, let's run it back. And Baker comes back with the gif of him sliding in place to take a picture of Higgins' touchdown celebration at the Titans. That was sick. The whole slide. That was beautiful.
They obviously have a connection.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure where that comes from. I'm not sure where that started or how, other than as a rookie, Higgins was the only person he could throw to, maybe on the sideline or something. But he has a bond with Higgins, and I don't know where it comes from or why, but
Higgins is a good receiver.
Well, yeah, but he's really good with Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
That
is true.
I'm kind of happy for Hig because If he would have signed somewhere else, I know he's talented, but
I don't see his
he might
production
not have
rate.
been a number one, and then get pushed back, and then not get thrown to, and
Like
then
what's happening
like
right
what
now.
happened.
But at least he's
How many
getting thrown
times
to.
the Browns have tried to do that to him, right? Since drafting
Yeah.
him, moving on
But
from
we still
him,
throw to him.
re-signing him to the practice squad, then moving on from him again, and then bringing him in, and then he's getting a starting job. Anyway, next up, at John Hilberry. If Andrew Berry was GM of the Indians, he could have gotten Lindor to stay for $15 million a year. I love this tweet because I so wish Andrew Berry could do both. Because I believe the Indians front office is a joke, and we don't want to win. We just want to save money.
Put on your red nose.
Look for your beer prices and concession prices to go up every year steadily, even though we won't pay any players to stay. Anyway.
Yeah, now the Indians are bad and the Browns are good instead of reverse.
Dogs and cats living together. It's mass hysteria. You want the next one?
Yeah. The Browns are signing interior defensive lineman Malik Jackson per rap sheet. My bad. At PFF is tweeting this. Jackson has a 72.8 pass rush grade. Pass rush grade. I was saying pass rush grade since 2018. That is 19th, and that is what we love to see at the Browns.
Yeah, that tweet's in there just because it highlighted his 72.8 pass rush grade since 2018. I loved it. We're gonna get to some fun ones here. And one of the guys that I absolutely love following on Twitter at fan of the land 13, artist formerly known as Whoopty Hell. When you see the hashtag Browns upgrade their defense that already picked you 4 times in a playoff game, and with it he has this GIF of Big Ben sitting in the stands at a Penguins game, kind of with the what kind of look on his face. It's so awesome. It's absolutely awesome. And there's more from the artist formerly known as Whoopty Hell here in a little bit too. Go with this one, Grady, because this one's so interesting.
All right. You ready for this? It's long. At Everything Cleveland, hashtag Browns core below age 27.
Players that are below age 27 that are a core of the team.
All right. Baker Mayfield, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, Austin Hooper, Jack Conklin, Wyatt Teller, Jedrick Wills, Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward, Ronnie Harrison, John Johnson, Harrison Bryant, Grant Delpit, and Donovan Peoples-Jones, David Njoku, and Tack McKinley. That should be 26 if I count. No. Right. 16.
Sure.
16 if I counted right.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
And he says, be very afraid.
And you really should, because those are young guys and they're going to be here for a little while.
That's why I don't really honestly do not look for him to start adding free agents that are 32 plus years old. He's like just not going to do it. He's not going to go for Richard Sherman. He's not going to go for Jadeveon Clowney. He's not going to go for Alejandro Villanueva.
Kyle Rudolph.
Could have gone for Kyle Rudolph, but that would have worked. I think he would have worked in that tight end room. But anyway, next up, Orange Pants Report. Obviously, my love for the Orange Pants goes back to the 70s and my love of Brian Sipe. But at Report Pants, I think it's time for the hashtag Browns fans out there who wrote articles and made podcasts about how we had to consider trading for Deshaun Watson to admit they were wrong. Quit looking for solutions to a problem we haven't had since the day we drafted at Baker Mayfield. Well said, well put out there. Again, I don't need us involved in MassageGate or whatever. I think that's a tweet coming up here too. But anyway, well done.
Yes.
You want the next one?
Mikey Superfly Stimmy Snuka at Mikey Shreds with 2 Z's. I'll have you know. Good players from good teams are joining the hashtag Browns, telling reporters it's because they want to win. And if you're a lifelong Browns fan under the age of 60, that's an absolutely preposterous.
Preposterous.
Why did I add it? Preposterous.
Preposterous notion.
Preposterous notion, and I love it so much.
So I love this tweet, and I think that you could actually go, what I say, 40, 45, maybe even 50. Because I mean, I'm a lifelong Browns fan, and I remember winning. I remember going to AFC Championship games almost every year, or so it seemed. I remember, Bernie. I remember the Cardiac Kids. We weren't awful. We didn't go to a Super Bowl, but we weren't awful. We weren't 0-16, if that's what you're trying to insinuate. We had bad down years, but not anything that bad. But yeah, anybody under 40, you haven't had a lot to look forward to. So I feel bad for you, and I'm happy that you are getting to see a winner. I appreciate it.
Make me cry.
PFF Fantasy Football at PFF_fantasy listed 3 players who were best or tops in yards after contact or yards after a broken tackle. I can't remember which part it was now. Mike Davis, 27%.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Chubb, 27%. And Kareem Hunt, 26%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 2 of our running backs at the top of that list.
Could you say that again, please?
Yeah. Mike Davis, 27%. Nick Chubb, 27%. And Kareem Hunt, 26%.
Oh, wait.
27% of the time, you don't tackle him on the first try.
Wow. Two Browns running backs.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Both of them.
One was over 1,000 yards rushing, and the other one led the team in receiving touchdowns. How about that?
That one still hits pretty hard.
I don't know that I like that stat, but hey, it's there. What do you got?
PFF at PFF. Teams with an excellent grade in free agency. The Browns, and then the Broncos. Well, the Broncos, and Washington.
What the football team? I swear every time I see it, it looks like WTF. And did you hear that they're thinking about keeping the name?
Really?
They're thinking about keeping the name Washington Football Team.
Good luck all of a sudden, because when they were the Redskins, they had the 2nd overall pick, and now they went to the playoffs.
They also won a lot of Super Bowls as the Redskins, by the way.
Well,
anyway.
Okay. Okay, then.
Wasn't necessarily bad.
Screw
luck.
History.
Wasn't
We're
necessarily
talking about
bad
the
luck.
present now.
But if they keep the name Washington Football Team, I'm gonna just call them What the Football Team. Because every time I look at it, it looks like WTF.
But it's WFT.
What the team?
What in the football is this?
What the is going on? Anyway, Nick Carnes at Carnsy's 817. The Rams secondary was one of the best in the league last year. The Browns was one of the worst. Naturally, executive of the year Andrew Berry just signs John Johnson and Troy Hill away from them, taking the offseason by storm. I agree. Absolutely agree. Nick Carnes also said this.
Nick Carnes also said, funny how it's Chase Claypool calling the Browns out after a loss and getting into bar fights, but Odell Beckham is treated like the distraction. Now, I saw something today, and it was Juju is a diva, and Odell is a, I don't know, like, team leader. But the guy on TikTok, I love him. He's a Browns fan. He said, he really explained it well. He posted a clip of Nick Chubb and Odell talking, and Odell goes, man, I really just want to score a touchdown. And Nick Chubb replies with, I just want to win.
Yep.
I love Nick Chubb. And that's it. And he said, so how is Juju a diva just for making some stupid TikTok dances? Is Terrell Owens a diva then?
Oh, he was totally a diva.
Because he ate popcorn.
Oh, no. So many more things.
That's my
he pulled a Sharpie out of his sock and signed the ball that he scored a touchdown with and handed it to a kid in the stands. He stood on the star in the middle of Cowboy Stadium and
he-
celebrated a touchdown. Come on. Total diva. He held out for a contract and was doing sit-ups in his driveway while reporters surrounded him. That's a diva.
Oh, I remember that. I remember
Yeah.
seeing that.
The train wreck in Pittsburgh is continuing, and artist formerly known as Whoopty Hill at Fan of the Land 13 says hashtag Browns having a quiet offseason. Meanwhile, the train wreck in Pittsburgh continues.
I remember the picture you sent me, and it was the Steelers right now, and it was a dumpster fire. In the rain.
It
a
was more than a
fire
dumpster
in the
fire.
rain.
It was literally a dumpster on fire floating down a flooded river. It's exactly what they are right now. Chase Claypool's getting into a fight in a bar. I don't know. Was it in Canada? Or would they say excuse me and sorry after they were done? I don't know.
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, sorry, eh? Sorry. Sorry, eh? I didn't notice you there. Sorry about the fight.
And he also tweeted, if some media members ran the hashtag Browns, they would have traded Baker for Watson, and we would have been in the middle of Massaging
Massagegate.
I can't speak today.
Massage gate. There you go. Maybe I should have hyphenated that. So
Massage. Gate.
I don't know how much of the stuff about Watson is true. I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know anything about the details of it. It doesn't seem like Watson and his representation are real concerned, even though there's a ton of them that are coming in. Seems like it was not. It's not solid. Does that make any sense? Anyway, one of my favorites, Adam Schefter. I literally saw this tweet and was like, ooh, a statement from the Bears. And so I go and I look at the tweet that he quoted, and it's from the Chicago Bears at Chicago Bears. And all it says is QB1. And it's got a picture of Andy Dalton. Now I know.
Oh, man.
I know you haven't had it the best in recent years, Bears fans. But let me tell you, as a Browns fan, to my Bears fans, that ain't it. Andy Dalton is a serviceable quarterback. He is not it.
Good one.
He is not it.
I think you would have.
You're literally going with Andy Dalton
over Mitchell Trubisky
that you let go. And basically, you just put it on Twitter that your coach is going with Andy Dalton over Nick.
And Nick won a Super Bowl.
I am flabbergasted.
And
Can you imagine if that would have been like, okay, let's see.
Wait, don't we play the Bears this year?
I don't know. That would have been like if we would have placed a tweet and had, I can't even think of his name. I'm so drawing a blank.
What?
If we would have sent out a tweet preseason ahead of the season before the draft and had Deshaun Kaiser QB1, it's equivalent, dude. I'm sorry, it is. I mean, maybe he's not that bad, but
he's the backup.
It's what I'm thinking.
Well,
It's what I'm going. It's what I'm rolling with.
Where even is he now? He was with the Packers and they drafted Jordan Love. So now he's gone.
Yeah, I don't even know where he went. I think he's done. Anyway, what do you got?
This is one of your favorites.
One of my favorites because I think David Njoku was getting some heat.
Chief David Njoku at David Njoku 80. I've been here with the 0-16 team along with a couple of my teammates. We've seen this ship turn around completely, and y'all think I'm content with reaching the playoffs in $6 million? You got me bent if you thinking I'm happy with that. F out of here.
I think David Njoku set that record straight.
And he's gonna play starting tight end next year.
If he's gonna get angry, he's gonna push Austin Hooper right out the way.
And Austin Hooper's gonna leave, and
No, I bet you $20 that we won't be able to make an offer to keep David Njoku after he has a good year this year. Goes to the Super Bowl with us, catches a touchdown pass in the Super Bowl, maybe more than one.
Gronk did it.
He'll be our Gronk, and he'll get a huge offer from the team somewhere. The Bills.
They need
Who
one.
will swing and miss again. Anyway, that's our tweets of the week. That's really all we got. What's happening next? You're looking forward to the off-season workouts starting for teams with new head coaches.
It's almost the end of March.
That'll start April 5th. That's next week.
Yeah,
April 5th is next
dang.
weekend. April 19th is the start of off-season workouts for teams. Everybody else. April 23rd, last day of restricted free agent signing period. April 28th is the last day for NFL teams to match offers for the restricted free agents. And then April 29th through May 1st in Cleveland, Ohio, the NFL draft. I can take out that part where it says virtual again because it's going to be live and there's going to be people there and it's going to be a good time. So don't have any shout outs. If you follow us on Twitter, I'm going to put some links out there. I'm probably going to tag some of you guys that we tweeted with or that we talked about your tweets and let us know what you thought, if it's good. A lot of you guys are consistent tweeters, and we like to laugh at a lot of your content, and so we want to share that with the world. So if you want to give us a shout out in the comments, shout out in the notes, send us DMs. DMs are always open. Let us know what you think of the show, anything that we can do better. I'm starting to think about WTF, what the football. And every week, I think we should do a segment called What the Football, where we go, what the football, and put it out there and talk about all the bonehead moves.
I like that. Like our Kyler Murray rant.
That is exactly what I'm talking about. The Kyler Murray rant. The J.J. Watt signing with the Cardinals rant.
Well, that's what started it. Don't even get me started. Don't get me started again.
The Steelers that think they're actually still competitive.
So funny.
Oh, we need to find the ESPN post-free agency rankings. That would be What the Football. That's going to go on What the Football.
Yeah.
Wait till you get that. That's the teaser at the end of the episode.
I saw something that said the team that really got beat by the Chiefs after they were winning 24-0, really signing with the Cardinals, and the DeAndre Hopkins and JJ Watt. It's not wrong. Not wrong.
I really think the Cardinals are trying to do what we were doing as an organization about 10 years ago. We don't have a way our draft picks aren't really working out. So we're just going to continue to sign all these free agents, as many as we can sign.
Yeah, and Isaiah Simmons didn't make my all-rookie team because he just didn't show up this year.
Yeah, he was trying to find his way for the beginning half of the year. So it's hard to do that with what they're asking him to play.
Yeah, but he played like a lot of different positions.
Yeah,
though.
Yeah, you couldn't pencil him in as safety or corner or linebacker because he was all over.
Guy, though.
Yeah, very talented. Super athlete. Anyway, that's all we got for this episode 12. We appreciate you fans. We appreciate you for joining us and listening to us. And so, for the New Breed podcast, for Grady Mitchell, I'm Mike Mitchell. Be kind to somebody. Let's go Browns. Don't
give me that look. Have to do what you barking every week. You even do it outside of this. I don't want to hear it.